sebenza kanzima.
Sambana, how's everyone doing? I go by the name of DJ Cleo. I grew up in a family that's not a musical family. I discovered music literally through church. You know, we went to a church that had a band on stage, and then there would be choir competitions. So I would be part of the Fosloras choir. And Gadi choral competitions, some choirs brought bands. You see, so now the stakes were raised. Or now we are just singing a cappella. These ones, they come with the bands and they rock. That then prompted the branch to sort of try and put together the branch band. And our priest, our leader for the Fosloras branch was Ntate Gianni. And let's put church aside. I grew up in an area that had developing houses, like the 4-room, you know, they were building. So there was a lot of that nylon that they use. I think they call it fish lane, you know, so that you build the wall straight. And lema planka for roofing. So what we do is, nowadays they don't sell oil in tin cans. Now they sell it kadikupu. I think it is 5 liter car oil. So back then it used to be in tin cans. So we take that tin can, kenyel planka, and run the strings, that nylon, you know, makeshift guitar. And that then prompted my mother, Hokadima Katara Kontate Gianni. The guitar had one string on it. So now I learned to play guitar on a guitar that had one string. And then 1991, my parents bought me an acoustic guitar. But now this one had 6 strings, but I could only play on 1 string. So I then obviously had to learn how to move up the fretboard. And 1992, my parents bought me my first electric bass guitar, which I still have. I got it on the 2nd of April. It was a Thursday. And that was the beginning of my musical journey, because now I sort of founded the church band, Yako Fosloras, with Titos, a friend of mine, Titus, and Tabo Lamola, a friend of mine. Tabo played keys and taught me 1 or 2 things on the keys. Titos could only play bass, so him joining the band meant I had to move to guitar. And then we didn't have drums, but when we went to the main branch, there was drums. So sometimes on a Saturday, the drummer is not there, or the drummer is actually a keyboardist or a guitarist and he wants to play guitar, then we swap. And that's how I got into drums. So that's how I became familiar with the instruments, the drums, bass, guitar, keys. That's basically how I got into music. At the time, I was 10, 11, 12. 1992, I was 12, 11 going for 12. 1994, actually, we moved to Springs. And obviously, I had to now make new friends, but my friends were go Foslo. So I'd always, on weekends, travel to Foslo. And that's when my friend Tabo Lamola introduced me to production. There was a keyboard, the brand was Technics, which I still have, but I have because I bought when I was much older, because it was sentimental for me. Technics KN501, which had a sequencer. Do you know what a sequencer is? You know Fruity Loops, Logic, Cubase? That's what you see in front of you is a sequencer, basically. Yeah, what you make beats on. But your night had a built-in sequencer. But I couldn't quantize. So I had to learn to be on time. So if I wanted to program the kick drum, I'd play it maybe, and it could only record 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 bars, and then it loops. So then if I'm off, I cancel and I do it again until I'm on time or as close as possible. And it could only cut the drums, it could only record 4 sounds. and then leave the drums aside, it can only record 3 other sounds. So it would be drums, kick, hi-hat, snare, and maybe a bell or a cowbell. And then the next 3 sounds, it's bass. The next one is keys. The next one can be maybe a synth, sax, whatever. And I still have those tapes, my demo tapes from 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997, 1998. So at 14, 15, I was already now producing, recording to cassette. Produce, record to cassette. Tabo was the it guy, man, Kokasi. So he kind of, like all these events, Kokasi, Mr. and Miss what, whatever, he was always there. And he connected with the DJs and artists that would come and perform there. Because every time I needed a number of a record label, I would get it from him. My school diary at the back had the numbers, so the labels, and I'd always be calling. And I realized when I was much older that grand I was calling and not really saying much, because you're asking to speak to Mduma Silele, you're asking to speak to Tikezi, you're asking to speak to Mawilis, you check the cassette at the back, oh, CCP. Okay, now you call CCP. Reception. Oh, CCP, hello? So, number. Yes, how can I help you? So by 15, I knew this is what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know where to go. Now, we didn't have these opportunities. 1995, please. We didn't have the internet either. We didn't have Instagram, we didn't have DMs, we didn't have... We didn't have it. So I knew this is what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know how to go about it. So I just kept producing, getting better and better at it. Now remember, in all this production, I'm recording nothing. Everything is just programmed. I'm not recording guitars, I'm not recording bass. I don't have access to studios. Tabo had access to some studios here in town, and once or twice I tried to come here and got lost, didn't find whatever studio. By the time I found it, it was late. The engineer was saying, I'm in a... So by 97, I kind of knew this is what I'm doing, definitely. That's when I started DJing, but got the cassette, and I played at my uncle's graduation, and I knew, okay, this DJing thing is me also.
Calling out all content creators, from artists to podcasters to any creator who uses any form of audio. You can now upload your very own audio clip from a song to a content clip and promote your work using the MTN Callertunez platform. The cherry on top is you can use the Callertunez to make some moolah, cash, pesos by getting your fam, friends, and fans to use your Callertunez, which will mean money in your pocket. So basically, every time someone listens to your Callertunez, likes it, they simply press any key from 1 to 9 to download it as their own, and that is a win for you too. You can submit your audio through AMP's very own distribution channel with MTN by sending it to the very email below. And of course, through Callertunez, you get access to the creative world of AMP Studios with access to our resources from recording studios to podcasting equipment to events, networking sessions, and all of it. Get as creative as you want with MTN Callertunez and AMP Studios.
'98, I'm in matric. We go to Nasrec. There's a expo, in that big hall where AMPD will set up their stall, and then another brand will set up their stall, and so on. And you're just walking around checking what interests you. How? Here? Keyboard, speakers, studio nyan. Hello, what is happening here? Like, oh, buddy, look, we are LMB campus and we offer sound engineering courses, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, sound engineering, where do I apply? I apply, I fill in the forms, whatever, I get the brochure. Everything else in that hall meant nothing to me. I had found that thing that I do there. Finished matric, 1999, go do my first year sound engineering. I'm staying at Res. My roommate, Joseph, was in a group called Verbal Assassins with Colin, Double HP, and Twix from Twistyle. So Double HP is staying in the same res as well. We're studying in the same school. He's doing film. Me, I'm doing sound engineering. Marketing, Flaba is there. So then we have a class here, Cubase, where they teach us computers and. Now, whenever there's a teacher absent, they say we must go to the computer lab so that we can practice. But the computer lab is also used by IT students. But the IT course had very little, like a small number of students. So the computer I used to use and save my work on, whenever it's substitution, where the lecturer is absent and we must go to the computer lab, I go to the same machine. And the guy who sits next to me who's doing IT is Duk Singang. But I know him as Dumel, as that guy with braces who never talks. Nontle Tema was also in the same school. RJ Benjamin was doing music. I was doing sound engineering. So when I did my sound practicals, I remember my final sound practicals, I was engineering his music performance on stage. But he was Roy at the time. When I first started recording, the first artist I really worked with was Roy Benjamin, who later became RJ Benjamin. This is now around 2001. So the vision was there, you know. So yeah, 99, I start DJing officially. I start buying vinyls. 2000, I get onto YFM. How? I call, Shoput, I'd like to come for a mix on your show. Who am I calling? Ashifa Shaba. He says, yeah, no, come Friday 11th of Feb, 2000. So I go there, I rock at night, 10 till 2 a.m. He's impressed. He says, come back Saturday. I go Saturday night, I rock. He's impressed. He's like, you're staying. Every week you're with me now. And that's how I got onto YFM for free. Now I'm staying same Reslit Double HP. He gets a record deal, go CCP. In 2000, I did one of his demos. The song we did was Baile Banake, Baile Komafike. And he gets his record deal, so now things are happening for him. You know, but he's my bra, so, you know, you don't hustle him, but, you know, we're moving together. And my things really started popping in 2000 when I produced Zege Zege. After being fired from YFM and Sbu also being fired from YFM 2 months before me. So the journey has been kind of mixed up, messed up, but there's what I call, you know, some people say, I want to go there, so I don't want to be distracted. So there's a concept is constructive distraction or constructive derailment, where you're going there, but you get derailed constructively and you get thrown that way. And what do? You end up developing that there where you are, and you become a star or a success there. You know, there's a lot of people now who are either musicians or actors, but they didn't come to Joburg trying to be actors. You know, but while they were trying to push the hustle, something else distracted them, but that thing took off. For example, like I said, Double HP, though he was rapping before, but he was studying film to make movies. Duk Singang was studying IT, you know. So it may happen that some of you may not get to where you want to, but it happens that you are distracted and you're thrown off course, but you end up blossoming wherever. So don't ever think, I want to go there. Yes, it's okay to be stubborn sometimes, especially if you believe in it, because music is all I do. It's my plan A, plan B, plan C. So it's music one way. But why I'm telling you about this constructive derailment is that I ended up on YFM 24 years ago. And then I morphed into being a technical producer for Shifa Shaba. Then DJ Fresh took me as a mixed DJ on his show in 2001, and I became his technical producer, 2001, 2002. Today I'm working on Radio 2000 as a radio presenter. I never thought I could ever do that as a radio presenter. You know what I mean? But here I am. So then, is it fair for me to say, yeah, I was going there? Do you see what I mean by constructive derailment or constructive, what's the other word? Were you paying attention, Skoma?
Sebenza kanzima